Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be addressing a question which a viewer asked me on the channel, and I'm also going to be showing Jamaicans and other Caribbean people their travel powers that they may not be aware of. So the question that was asked by this subscriber or viewer was, if banned from the US, is one still able to travel to Canada, Germany or the UK without any problems? I thought it was a great question, and in response of that question I said, first I'll just answer that with my general understanding of the rule. The USA has its own jurisdictions and borders, and within those borders its laws rule. So to be deported and or banned from the US in respect only means an exemption from entering USA and its overseas territories. However, you can transit through them to enter other countries because airports are not considered as countries per se. Canada, I believe, weighs US deportation orders up in considering entrance to Canada, but I believe that's only because of its close land borders with the USA and nothing of Canada's constitution. Maybe a sub-agreement because Mexico, which shares a similar border, does not consider US orders to visit Mexico. Canadians are deported from America and Americans are deported from Canada daily. Countries in Europe, such as Germany and the UK, exist on their own terms and laws, meaning that findings in the US or US deportations are not validated by them. And other than foreign trades and other political ties, these countries' judicial laws, rules and findings are non-binding. For decades, the USA has been seeking one world order power, which Europe and the UN will never allow. And until that time comes, deportation from the US only means that it's from the US. However, international crimes are of Interpol, which is on the next level, and international criminals are usually criminals in all countries upholding such laws. I will do a thorough research and let you know my actual findings, but that's what I know at the moment. So, that was pretty much a correspondence between me and a viewer by the name of Peter Wiles. And as you can see, Peter Wiles, unlike a lot of other people in the Caribbean, do not know their legal abilities to roam this earth. And for that reason, I've put together 18 countries of the Caribbean communities to display the citizens' travel powers, just in case citizens from those countries are asking the same question as this person have asked me. So without any further ado, here are the 18 countries that I've selected from the Caribbean community to demonstrate those citizens' travel powers. I've actually done them in a least to most visa-free access. So I'm starting with a country of the Caribbean communities who has the least visa-free access to countries of the world. And where you see it says visa upon arrival, that number is included in the visa-free number. So if you see it says, for example, where 80 is concerned, where it says visa-free 59, and where it says visa on arrival 41, that 41 is actually from the 59. So pretty much if you take away 41 from 59, you will have 18. So it's really 18 countries that citizens from Haiti can go without having a visa, but the visa on arrival mean it's automatic. Mean if someone from Haiti goes to that country, they will definitely get a visa. It will not be a situation of consideration or merit. there you go. And I'm sure for some people of the Caribbean, now that I've established that, you know, if you're into that, now you realize that you've got a few bragging rights over other country. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. If you've got more visa-free entrance than other country is okay. What I'm saying still is Jamaicans and Caribbean people need to take advantage of their visa-free abilities. On a serious note still, black people are the only people who actually make a big deal out of deportation. I've never seen any white person that makes a big deal out of deportation. White people get deported and they just get on with their life. They find jobs, they find a home, they reunite with their family, they go on holiday, whether that's local holiday or international holiday. White people do not let the deportation from one country hinder their life or stop their life in any way. White people just kind of respect the deportation order and they just say, well, the rest of the world is my oyster and that's where I'm going to travel to. However, when it comes to black people make it seem as if you get deported from England, Canada, or the United States of America, black people give you the impression like you've just been locked out of heaven and now you'll be stuck in hell forever. However, even though I'm laughing about it, it's a serious thing where black people's stigma of deportation is all wrong. And they give you the impression as if, well, you're not just locked out of heaven, but for the ones that are still in the UK or the USA or Canada, they act as if they're now in a better place than you because you got deported back to Haiti or you got deported back to Trinidad or to Jamaica or wherever. And people, that's not true. I mean, the world is a big place. And like I was saying in my last video about Stockholm Syndrome is one of those things that put a visor on us. It put us in a tunnel where we only have a tunnel vision. So what I mean is, once we migrate to these foreign countries, it seems as if we don't want to go anywhere else. We're stuck there. And the world is out there to be discovered. There are things to see, there are peoples to meet, there are cultures to learn. So for my Caribbean people, my black people worldwide, whether you're in North America continent or you're even from the African continent, know that if you're deported from any country around the world, you're just deported from that country. I mean, at the same time, immigration law and rules are like criminal law and rules, or like civil law and rules. Law on a whole, they constantly change. And that's the reason why lawyers are so expensive, because it's not one of those jobs where you learn how it works and you learn the rules and that will be the rule forever. Law is different. So when it comes to immigration rule, what I'm actually saying to you now, maybe by the time I upload this video, that rule is changed. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel for a minute, you know that I believe in freedom to roam. I think human beings on a whole was born to roam, was born to be free. I said it once and I'll say it again on my channel. We're not trees, we have legs, and we should be able to travel wherever we want to go. However, in respect of politics and man-made rules and man-made borders, we must still take advantage of the travel zones they've given to us. Of course, I know that it costs money, but at the same time, I'm just saying, if a person is deported and they go back home and they're not feeling home, or if their home country is not working for them, I just want them to know that get yourself out of that tunnel vision. The world is big. Go see another country. Sometimes your home country is not the worst place on earth. Sometimes we just need a vacation. Sometimes we just need a break. So the ability to have travel-free zones is a plus. However, with our powers to travel and our powers to visit other countries, whether it be for tourism or whether it be for work or residence, we have to also keep in mind of one thing. I see the word depopulation being thrown around on the channel, or the conspiracy of depopulation being thrown around on the channel. I mean, I see it, I don't get too much involved with it because it's an allegation that I don't really have much evidence of. But that doesn't mean that I'm not paying full attention to it. But one thing I do know outside of the depopulation allegation, I'm quite aware of what they're calling now over-tourism. A lot of countries around the world are suffering from over-tourism. And what that means is because too many people are visiting the country, and even though it brings in money, it's also destroying a lot of the landmarks. It's also destroying a lot of the geographics of that particular country. What started that was really these cheap holidays and cheap deals, and that brought a whole lot of people to other countries who have never even thought about traveling. And I'm quite aware now that governments of several countries around the world are having a problem with over-tourism, and what they're doing is they're hiking up airfares on holidays that used to be cheap. So holidays that one could afford for say $300, $400, $500 are slowly being weathered out. So I brought it up because I know that for a fact, and considering that they are using that strategy to minimize tourism for certain countries, reasons are being found to discourage people from visiting and or not allowing people in their country. And what I mean by that is pretty much that you could wake up tomorrow and maybe a country that you had a visa-free access for is no longer visa-free. Anyway, people, I think I've covered enough, and I look forward to hear what you guys have to say. But before I go, as you know, I have to big up some people.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
And the first person I want to big up today is a channel called Rasta Health and Wellbeing. I also want to big up Desireen Binns. And last but not least, I want to big up Up TV.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
Alright, people, let me know what you think of this one. Let me know what you think about the 18 countries that I've listed. The reason why I didn't list all the Caribbean community countries is that most of those Caribbean communities are still an overseas territory of one country or another, and those countries and passport holder automatically hold the powers of their sovereign country. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think of the video. As you know, I welcome thumbs up, thumbs down, agreement, disagreement, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. Until next time, people, peace.